drones are capable of aerial photography and video, as you can see, as we demonstrated. The particular drones we chose here have good airworthiness, so they're able to handle a little bit more wind. They also are dual battery, which gives them a little bit better capabilities in colder weather. So obviously here in New York it gets cold. We want to be able to operate year-round. These particular drones are not all weather, so if it were raining out we would not fly them. That's the second phase of our program, is to start exploring some all-weather platforms. They're much more costly to go to an all-weather platform. What these will primarily be used for is to support state police, law enforcement missions, and public safety missions, such as search and rescue type operations. We can use them for crime scene documentation if we want to take wide area photographs or video of a crime scene. We are exploring using them for accident reconstruction purposes. The drone, combined with some other technologies, can allow us to clear an accident scene much quicker because we can photograph the entire scene and then use software to reconstruct that scene afterwards, versus having to take all the measurements on the ground at the time before we can clear the scene and make sure we have everything. So that's technology that we're exploring right now in conjunction with our collision reconstruction unit. What else?
Will you be able to do a radar from up above?
No, for speed enforcement?
Yeah.
No, we would not be using them for that.
Can you address any, safety concerns that people might have in terms of their privacy, with it not infringing on their privacy?
Sure. So our position is we're going to safeguard people's privacy as the state police have always done. Our goal is not to intrude on anybody's personal privacy. We will not use the drones to circumvent any privacy concerns that we would be required to obtain warrants or anything like that. We've established our own privacy policy. We've consulted with the New York Civil Liberties Union on our privacy policy. So again, we've gone to great lengths to make sure that everything we do operationally is done in conjunction with preserving people's privacy and upholding the law.
We've been seeing ice jams a lot in the area. Is this a situation where you could use these drones to monitor or anything like that?
Yeah, actually in Troop D, they actually used it for that purpose about a week ago. They were able to put up a drone, I forget exactly which county they were in that they were doing it, but the troop commander told me that he would have, I believe it was in the Oneida area, don't quote me on that, but the troop commander said that he would have had to bring a helicopter from Rochester, whereas he was able to bring a drone right there within his troop and at a much lower cost. So yeah, we're actually using them for that type of work already.
So Troop F has 2 drones, and how many personnel are trained to operate them? I saw it was a 2-man operation.
Right. So right now we're in the early stages of the program. We've trained pilots in 4 troops. So right now there's only 1 trained pilot per troop. So Troop F, G, D, and A are where we have them right now. In March, we intend to train additional pilots in those troops. So each troop will have like 4 to 6 pilots and 2 aircraft per troop. So that way there will always be somebody working who could respond with a drone if needed.
And what does the second person do? I saw they were like monitoring some sort of screen.
So these particular aircraft have 2 controllers. One controls the actual flight of the drone, and the second controls the camera. You can fly it as one person, but it takes a little bit of the load off the operator if they only have to worry about flying it and the other person operates the camera. So ideally it's better to operate with a camera operator and a pilot, but it can be done with one person.
I can imagine there's training too for the camera operator, correct?
What will eventually happen is that the camera operators will also be pilots. So they'll be working in conjunction. Both of these gentlemen have their FAA certificates. So all our pilots will have FAA certificates, and then they'll go through 32 hours worth of police UAS training before they're actually flying themselves. So 2 pilots will work together, but 1 pilot will be in control of the aircraft. Yes?
Can you talk about safety? I assume this kind of helps make sure troopers aren't getting in harm's way if there's certain situations.
So that's another use for the drone, is we can put the drone in areas where we don't have to risk a trooper. So for example, if you have a missing person or somebody who potentially maybe fell over a cliffside or something like that, instead of having to put troopers down the cliffside, we could fly the drone down immediately and assess their condition and then make a plan on how to conduct a rescue from there rather than having to rush in and risk lives. It can be used for a multitude of things, drownings, things of that nature. So it's just another way to get a camera, another eye where we may not be able to do it.
How much did the drones cost? I know you said that they were donated. What was the total donation or otherwise cost?
So we've purchased, we initially purchased 2 with state police funds, and then we purchased an additional 16 through the Trooper Foundation. So we have a total of 18 drones. The whole program is somewhere around $120,000 for the 18 that we have. They range about, for the whole package with cameras, accessories and so forth, they're about $7,000 per unit.
And how is the Trooper Foundation funded?
They're funded through charitable donation through various different benefactors. I would direct you to their website, the Trooper Foundation. It talks about how they do charitable work to support the state police and our members' families.